Hello and welcome to the DrivingMaul Hurricanes versus British and Irish Lions preview. I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, and thank you for joining me. I'm always up for good rugby chat, so whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the recording, please feel free to put comments down below. As I say, always up for a good old rugby chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget you can thumbs up at any time. Whoops, ouch, caught my cable there. So, we've had both the teams announced today, so let's run through those and see what we can glean from that. And then also we'll have a chat about how I think the game will go. Let's be honest, this game, in some ways, it doesn't kind of matter in the grand scheme of things. All that matters is the test matches at this stage. And a lot of the players there's been very few players in these games who will actually play in the tests. Also, it kind of, so it's also we kind of look at some of the selections and go, does that impact the test? We're kind of already looking on to the next game. But we should sit back and savour this one, because it is the Super Rugby champions versus the British and Irish Lions. So it still should be a high quality game. I've not checked out the weather. Down in Wellington it can be very windy, so that can make a big difference. But let's have a chat about the game anyway. So the Hurricanes announced their team first, so let's have a quick look at that. If we go from 15 downwards, we have Geordie Parrott, Milner Scudder, Asso, Lumape, Julian Surveyor, Otre Black. Oh my word. We're talking about, we've got All Blacks in there, we've got the two leading try scorers from Super Rugby in that centre partnership, both looking to break the record for number of tries in the season. That back line is something amazing. And whilst people will say, oh, but Black it's not Beauden Barrett. He's not, but he's also someone that the Blues are trying to poach to be their starting fly half next season, and people are talking about him being the All Blacks fly half for the 2023 Rugby World Cup. So we're talking quality very much there. And in other ways, if we look at the game, the Maori All Blacks game, it's a kind of similar lineup. Amazing set of backs. Can the forwards give them the platform? And I'm going to butcher the name, unfortunately, of the scrum half. Very sorry. Toyarungonji. We have Brad Shields at 8, Gibbs at 7. Fafita has been released from the All Blacks camp, just like Julian Surveyor and Lumape. At 6, Lucy and Abbott in the engine room. And then Tuamanga Allen, Richelli and May are at the front row. And a lot of this is going to come down to, can that pack give any kind of front foot ball to these backs? Because that is an electric set of backs, and we've been talking about that a lot on this tour. But it is. And then we've run through, and not only is that, but it's electric set of backs, the first choice set of backs as well from 11 outwards. These guys have played, what are we up to now, 14, 15 Super Rugby games together. They are a well-oiled outfit. Obviously not, but the team is obviously missing Ardy Surveyor, TJ Perinara, Beauden Barrett, 8, 9, 10 axis of the Hurricanes for much of this season. So that decision-making group isn't there. But say outside of that, it is an electric team. We should also look at the bench. Apasi, Eves, Kayanga are the front row. Blackwell, Pinsip, complete the forward replacements. Hayutu Pa. I'll probably butcher that again. Sorry. It's his debut, but he was in the under-20s Junior Rugby World Cup, Virginia Rugby World Championship winning side a couple of weeks ago. So clearly, quality there. The All Black team that thrashed England in that final. We then have Goosen at 22 and Corey Jane at 23. That's right, we have a Rugby World Cup winner, All Black, on the bench as well. So that is a quality. So there is some quality on the bench as well. Clearly, it's not going to be as strong. We've got a guy who's having his debut, and with players like Ardy Surveyor, Beauden Barrett, TJ Perinara, all missing with the because of the All Blacks. This isn't a full strength side. but as I say, there is still a lot of quality in there. Let's have a quick look at the Lions then. So Marler, Best, Cole are the front row, as expected. And as expected again, Dacey, Dell, Francis are on the bench. So those players that have been called up purely to cover the bench. We probably may not see them actually on the pitch at all. Henderson and Courtney Laws again, just like the Chiefs game, fill out the second row, with Haskell, Stander and Tipperick are the sort of the back row at the scrum. So scrum same as against the Chiefs, and then as we come into the backs, Laidlaw and Bigger again running there with Davis and Russell on the bench. Sorry, I should roll back. Hill is there again, is the lock replacement, but also George Cruis. And that's going to be probably one of the big talking points, having him in there. So Laidlaw, Bigger, with Davis and Russell on the bench. Robbie Henshaw in again at 12, with JJ or Jonathan Joseph outside him, this time with Jared Payne starting on the bench. And then we have North, Nowell and Seymour in the back three, with Jack Nowell playing fullback. Now, this is where Jack Nowell used to play his rugby for under-20s at England level, since he progressed into the Exeter Chiefs and obviously England's full team. He's moved more onto the wing, but he is definitely he's someone who has played fullback and can play fullback, so there's no real concerns there. So the big discussion points on here, I think the main one is, well, the only one really, is seeing George Cruis there on the bench instead of Itoje, who started on the bench, or Alwyn Jones, who was on the bench last week. And then I think that Alwyn Jones came off and Itoje came on, whereas Cruis played the full 80 minutes of the Test match. So is this an indication that Cruis is now dropping down the pecking order? Because there has been a lot of criticism of him on social media, and some of that is justified and some of it not. Obviously, as always, people overreact, but let's be honest, he didn't have a great night with the ball. He dropped it a couple of times, got himself isolated as well another time. So running with ball, he wasn't great, but line out, all ran very well, which is one of his main jobs in there. And otherwise, around the park, he did fit himself in. But the suggestion, looking at that, would be that we'll have Alwyn Jones and Itoje starting in the second test, with Cruis on the bench. But then again, Alwyn Jones was on the bench against the Chiefs and started. So who knows? But it's definitely one that will lead to much discussion over the next few days. Aside from that, I say it's pretty much as expected, with George North and Seymour starting instead of Leah Williams and Daly, who obviously played at the weekend. And again, Williams taking some stick for his drop ball, but then again he made the break that led to O'Brien's try as well. So hey, he had a bit of a he didn't have a bad day at all at the office. So I can't see there being many changes there. We'll see how this one pans out and see if anyone sticks their hands up. But let's be honest, from a Lions point of view, we should be looking again at that fast rush defence. We should be looking at the back three trying to interchange and cut off each other, like we've seen both again at the Chiefs game and in the first test, as they get to know each other better. And the question then really is, will we see anything from the centres? Henshaw will play that TO role, bashing it up, and then will Joseph cut in off that, or will we see Joseph trying his trade outside line runs? Whoops. See, the camera keeps flipping around. So that's the Lions. For the Canes, so it's all going to be out. Can those forwards give the backs some front football? Both sides' discipline is going to be obviously an issue for field position, but with that exciting back line, expect the Hurricanes to be happy to run the ball as soon as they see any broken field situation. They're not going to run the ball at any situation. They'll kick a lot, just like all New Zealand sides do. I mean, the All Blacks kicked, I think it was 33 times from hand last night. but still had 60% of possession. That's because a lot of those kicks are contestable. You're getting the ball back. You're not kicking possession away. So expect that kicking, contestable kicks, and as soon as it's broken field play, look for the heads-up rugby that we'll expect from these guys if they can get to that front foot ball and if they can create that broken play against that rush defence from the Lions. Should be a cracker, but I think the Lions should the Lions forwards shouldn't give the Hurricanes enough front foot ball, and so I think, like the Chiefs game, we'll see the Lions come out on top. So I'm backing the Lions for by 10 points. I think I'll go for this time. After that, the game, with some of these players sticking their hands up to try and get into either the second or third test, injuries dependent. Let me know what your thoughts are. As always, link above to sign up for my newsletter, or down below if you're on YouTube. Please do share it with your friends and give it the old thumbs up on YouTube. I will be back tomorrow with a weather watch update for the game, so do look out for that.